Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we're going to take a look at Chapter 10 of Dorororon. We will have our usual spoiler-free section and our usually spoilery section after that. So, getting into the spoiler-free section, this was a fun chapter. We got a significant another portion of world building, which was a really good mix of showing and telling. It was really no more than a conversation between two characters, but the art that accompanied it, I guess you could call it the acting that accompanied it, because I guess the artists really are acting on the paper through this, showed the relationships really well. And then, but it really managed to just expand the world to kind of blow up our understanding of what's out there and what the threat level it really is. And we get introduced to this new character that we saw in the last chapter, and we find out more about them. And through this, the mangaka just really displays their ability to give these characters amusing and entertaining character quirks. So none of these are perfect 100% shonen heroes with shining pure hearts. And they're all dealing with their own issues and their emotional insecurities. And it's just very, very well done. So I can't say that much without giving spoilers. There is one very good example of the mangaka using something that everyone I'm thinking everyone thought was just going to be a one-off, a one and done reference to show and emotional development. It comes back now and ties in a major way into the plot. I was kind of surprised by that and pleasantly surprised, and it was woven naturally enough into the story that it didn't really draw me out of the story. I was still very much in the story and enjoying the flow of the story, and it was only on looking back later that I had a chance to analyze it. And it could have been very cheesy, but based on the established main characters and how they react, it felt natural. The situation itself was a bit cheesy, but the characters are a bit cheesy, so it just felt natural to the situation. So that's all for the spoiler-free section. I'll be getting into the spoilers to give you time to click away. I'll tell you to check out the links below the video, to get a copy of one of my books, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, Humans Are Weird, I Took a Vote, or if you want a tragedy instead of a comedy, Dying Embers, Dragons, Aliens, and Things That Go Boom in the Night. Okay, so Chapter 10, Dorororon. We are neck deep in the battle with this parasitic super Mononoke that had burrowed into another Mononoke's stomach, only to be carried out into the human world and wake up in a new situation. And that is really fascinating. This is a good bit of science. One of the major problems with killing anything, be it a bacteria or a large animal, are the parasites that are far more dangerous that live inside of it, that while the creature is alive are kept in check. There are certain viruses that live inside of bacteria, and if you take an antibiotic, one of the negative consequences of taking antibiotics is that when you kill all that bacteria, all the viruses that are inside them are now running loose around in your body. One of the negative consequences of killing large animals is that all the parasites that are inside of them are now abandoning that dead body looking for a new host. It was a very tragic situation where a co-worker of mine, actually, we never met, but we worked for the same company, the National Park Service. He was down in the Grand Canyon National Park, and he found a dead cougar that just died laying there on the ground. Now, policy is you do not remove a large mammal body without the proper precautions, masks, gloves. But he's like, oh, he was a big, strong guy. He figured he'd just toss it on his shoulders, carry it back up the trail like they used to do in the old days. And the parasites jumped off of the dead body. The fleas got onto him, and he died of a pretty nasty infection. And so this is a very real threat. If you kill one thing, something more dangerous does in fact come out of its body, and sometimes it comes out of the stomach. Generally not like this, but it's a very, very interesting dynamic that you find all the time in nature, and that any community has to be aware of and deal with whenever they're disposing of bodies. So that was just a fascinating dynamic. And then we have the new human character, an even higher ranking samurai than Jinchayu, who I thought this might be that that person she had the deep emotional connection to that we had hinted at previous chapters at first. But going on to the next panels, it looks like, no, this is just a samurai who is that much stronger than her, that she has as much respect and admiration for him as Dora has for her and Kusanagi have for her. So this may or may not be that intense emotional attachment she has. It might be just her superpowered superior who she's respects on a professional level and finds irritating on a personal level. And again, his character is a funny compound of high-level professionalism and just really young, immature emotional issues. Now, I'm wondering, because things tie back into each other in this series, because this is such a well-written series, I'm starting to wonder if all of these immature and insecure samurai is a representation of something, a larger issue. The samurai who started finding these things initially probably had a pretty high turnover and death rate. So the higher ranks of the samurai corps are probably people by very young officers. Dora was just a child when that really bad disaster happened and all those samurai died. And so there would have been a massive depopulation of the higher ranks of samurai. So it's quite possible that this company that protects people from Mononoke is people by very young, emotionally insecure, if highly competent officers. And I'm wondering if all of the issues that we're seeing is because, emotional issues we're seeing is because of that. Then we have, of course, the elephant in the room. There is someone powerful enough, well, mentally powerful enough to control this hyper-powered Mononoke who is just beating everyone sideways. And the only reason that everybody didn't get killed was that he got drug off by a Mononoke at least as powerful as him, if not more powerful. And it talks about others. So we're now looking at multiple Mononoke of this strength level, which is just another way of raising the roof and letting us know what's out there. Then we have the officer having to deal with the exhausted Dora and Kusanagi. We got some pretty intense scene. It goes pretty much as you would expect, except the officer seems to be influenced by that note that he got from the kids. And that was a very interesting touch. I thought that note, we were never going to see it again. It was just the third beat of a 3-beat arc. But here it shows up again and serves a very practical purpose. Now, that's my thoughts on Chapter 10 of Dorororon. Looking forward to the next chapter as always. What do you think? Were you surprised by that note showing up again? How many of these super powerful Mononoke are we going to see? Leave a comment below telling me what you think. I really want to hear your theories. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.